The inventory,
that
and then I think they need to unify the combat. That's the big one for me.
Yeah.
I would love it if they just went to the 1.9. I'm like the one person on this planet who loves that combat. It's more of an actual like battle of who like you know what I mean? I'm not explaining this right, but like it's more of like it's a duel than of just like a. Hello everyone and welcome back to the ATG Podcast. My name is TitaniumZombie or TZ or Ryder, whatever you really feel like calling me. I'm joined with NattyDucks.
Well, what? It's
and
me.
And we are here for our 10th episode of the ATG Pod. Yeah.
It's been that many?
It's been that many.
Wait. I didn't know that totally.
No, yeah.
From making thumbnails. It's news to me.
It's also not written on our document, 10th episode.
Oh, well, there you go.
So we're going, we had Bang Boom last episode. We had a guest, and this episode's we're kind of going back to the regular stuff. We're gonna talk about the news. We're gonna talk about we got a game which we'll get to in a second. But I think the main topic today is Minecraft. As you know, both of us are or used to make a lot of Minecraft content. Especially me, I used to make a lot more Minecraft content than I used to now.
Even if it's not content, we just play Minecraft.
Just play the game a lot. So, and as of recently, they've come out with the newest 1.21 update. Which is the trials.
Tricky Trials.
Yeah, the Tricky Trials updates. So we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about some stuff that we want to see in the future. So Mojang developers, we know you're watching. Stick around.
They're not watching.
They're not here. But if they are, yeah.
Anyway. So first we got is what's new.
Yeah.
Which, is the segment if you're new. No, that's where we talk about stuff going on in the world. What's new?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to go first, or you want to go first?
You can go first. I've been doing a lot of yapping.
All right.
So,
Yeah. All right. So new series recently started coming out on Disney Plus. New Star Wars series called The Acolyte. And there's been a whole lot of controversy over it.
Yeah. Yes, there has been.
It takes place about 100 years. Or so before the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
It's kind of in a time period that hasn't really been explored in the movies and whatnot.
Yep.
In the High Republic era, but yeah, a lot of
which
people.
Which is, by the way, super cool timeline.
I know.
Place this series. Like when I heard about the series, I was like, "Yo, this is gonna be sick." And then
they're finally not placing it in the Rebellion.
Yeah, like, but then also like as the more leaks came out, I was just like, "Dude, why does this seem weird? Like what's I was hoping that they were going to do something more with some of the Knights of the Old Republic game with Darth Revan and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I think that storyline is great, and I think anything within the millennia or whatever that the Sith were supposed to be gone or in hiding, kind of doesn't work when the Sith are supposed to be the bad guys most of the time.
Yeah.
And they are in this series, and
But there's been some controversies with it. Some less warranted than others. Like some people are getting upset because there's fire in space. And they're like, "Oh, that doesn't make sense. How's it oxygen?"
There's been fire a lot of times in Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing is, I'm not gonna spoil anything, because it's pretty much right off the bat established. But the main actress in the show, there's a character that's like her and then her twin sister.
Yep.
And they're, kind of like enemies somewhat throughout the story. But anyway, they have the exact same haircut, and it's a very stylized haircut. So it's like, but they were separated at birth. Not at birth, but separated long enough ago that why do they have the same haircut?
Yeah, I think I know a lot of people are also saying that this show is just breaking a lot of continuity that was set up in the prequels. Specifically to do with what I've heard about is just without spoiling it with Anakin. I won't get into too many details. And then there's also certain cameos that don't make sense now that I've heard about, and you're like
age-wise, timeline-wise.
Yeah, and that's really the main thing. It's just you kind of question what are they doing, and if these people who are making this obviously they're probably all very talented, very I hope they care about the project.
Yeah.
But the question is are they looking at the grander universe, right? And that's the main thing. When you're coming to a universe as diverse but also explored as Star Wars, right? Where a lot of ends of the universe have been, explored already, or at least explained in some sort of novel or something, right?
Yeah.
You got to be careful with how you just throw things in there just for, the fans to get up and clap, right? And like, I get what they're thinking, like, oh, we'll put this character in because, people love him and, all this. But if it doesn't work with the timeline, that's going to be the first thing they're going to be like, well, why is he here? And also, he said
Especially
this.
Star Wars fans.
Yeah, especially Star Wars fans, right? So you got to be really careful with that kind of stuff. And I don't think Lucasfilm or Disney has been that careful with it over the past little bit.
Yeah, since Disney got it, yeah.
Yeah. That's probably been my main complaint with even the sequels and stuff like that. It's just, they just it doesn't seem like they've been as respective with the overall canon as they probably could have been.
I definitely am glad that they're expanding out and going to different points and exploring different parts of the Star Wars universe that isn't just from between Phantom Menace.
I really do hope that Dawn of the Jedi movie that they announced is good. I really hope that's good.
Yeah.
Because that is such an interesting idea. Like going back to the first ever Jedi, like to before even lightsabers were created and stuff like that, right? Like, because that's how it is in Legends and stuff like that. So I hope they take a lot of inspiration from that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So please let them learn from all these mistakes.
Yeah.
It seems that big companies have to, trip and fall a couple times before they figure it out.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see where the rest of the series goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what you got?
So I could have talked about two things, but the main thing I want to talk about, because I think it's kind of a big conversation right now. It's nothing to do with movies. No, it's something we really haven't talked about on this podcast, but I want to talk about it because it's kind of neat. So tonight will be tonight of the time of recording. This is Friday, the week before uploading. So tonight is the game 6 of the Stanley Cup final. So normally we don't talk about sports on here, but today I want to talk about it because there could be history made here, depending on how it goes. Now, by the time this is uploaded, the Stanley Cup final will have already happened, and we already know who the winner is. So my prediction and all that doesn't matter. So I'm not even going to give that.
Are we making bets?
I'm not even going to make bets because it doesn't matter.
It's going to age poorly.
It's going to age poorly, right? So what I'm going to talk about and what I want to talk about is the fact that Edmonton, who is currently down currently up for elimination tonight, right? And was down 3-0, has the chance to come back and send it to Game 7, which will be, if they can win the Game 7, they will be the first team to be down 3 in a series and come back and like reverse sweep. They'll be the first team to do that since 1942 in the Stanley Cup final. Now, I know there's been other teams that have done it, but I'm pretty sure the only other one team that's done it was the Leafs back in 1942, which
back when they were all right.
Back when they were like, good at the playoffs and all that. So yeah, and then on the other side, you have Florida, who their organization has never won a cup before. So if they win tonight, as of time of recording this, it's Game 6 tonight. They could win tonight. They will be also setting a record by putting a cup on their record. So, just it'll be interesting to see.
See either way
how it goes, and even though I'm Canadian, I could really care less who wins.
That's fair.
I'm okay with either one.
Yeah, that's exciting though.
Very cool. Very cool
see
stuff.
How it goes.
Very cool stuff. Yeah.
All right.
So we can move on to our game here that I set up. I set up this probably the day after we recorded the Bang Boom episode.
Yeah.
Because I thought
I'd be worried.
I thought of this. So Natty, we're on our 10th episode.
Yep.
So I thought it'd be a perfect time to take a look back at the past 9.
Oh no! Should I have done my homework? Oh no!
So we're gonna have this is the ATG Podcast game trivia, specifically about each game.
Oh, this is gonna be bad.
So I'm gonna ask you one question about each episode, spanning 1 through 9. Each one is based off of its respective episode, and it's gonna be about something that we talked about, or some sort of answer or thing that came out of that said game. Okay?
Oh no! All right.
So, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
You can play along at home.
You can play along at home. Yeah, we'll say that. If you want, if you're on Spotify, you just have to try and guess the answers. If you're on YouTube, write them down in the comments, and don't change them. Don't skip till later, and then post it when you're done. So
yeah.
All right, we'll start with episode 1. So episode 1, we did the island game. If you don't remember, you had to pick 3 items to go on the island. Now,
can we really call that a game? I don't know, but
it was just the island, three things on an island.
I get you,
game, right? So, there were 3 items in particular that I first said that I wanted to bring.
Oh, no,
I had to very first short. 3. One of them was from the short.
Yeah.
So, what were the other 2? Because you probably know the one of them.
So you mean like when you were saying your boring stuff?
Yeah, well, you were like, you said like, okay, what were the first things you want to bring on? And I said, well, some people say like food and water and stuff like that, right? And I said, no, you want to get off the island.
Yeah.
So I would bring I just hit my mic. And then 2, and then I said, and a third thing. Third thing.
No. So. Well, I know the redacted one that got edited out.
Oh.
You said.
Okay.
Someone bring up.
Okay.
But
it wasn't that one. It was in the actual posted episode.
I figured. Oh no. Well, I figured. I think you said a radio.
Nice. That's one. That's one.
Right.
Okay.
Did you say water, or is that part of the boring?
I did not say water.
Oh no! You say like maybe a lighter?
I did not say a lighter.
Oh no. Oranges?
I did say oranges. That is 2. And the last one was a flare gun.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of useless, to be honest with you. But you have a radio, kind of useless, but whatever.
You say to thrive on an island.
Yeah.
It's just your way to get out.
All right. Episode 2, we did the blind ranking 10 MCU films. You asked me to blind rank 10 MCU films. Yep. Natty, name my top 3.
Number 1, I remember was, I think it goes Captain America Winter Soldier.
Correct.
Thor Ragnarok.
Correct.
And then Iron Man.
Absolutely. Good job. Good job. I'm going to give you the point on both of those because you're getting most of them, because some of these are like you get 3 answers. So
yeah.
If you just get mostly right, then we'll give you the point on that. All right. So episode 3, we brought DJ Philly on, and we did an improv game.
Episode.
Basically, you had to tell a story. And each starting letter of the story had to be of the alphabet.
Never doing that game again.
It was a stressful game. I sucked at it. Thank God for editing, because that was like 20 extra minutes. But near the end of the game, there was a musical instrument that Philly said we should be listening to while eating our ice cream. Name that musical instrument.
Is it a xylophone?
It was a xylophone. Good job. Good job.
I figured it has to be because of the X. The way it is.
I just said near the end. I didn't say what letter it was.
That's fair.
But yes, it was a xylophone. All right. Episode 4, we did Mad Libs, another weird game. You told a story. In the Mad Libs episode, a young Dr. Pepper named Steve, what job did he dream of being one day?
Chiropractor.
Yes!
Oh, baby.
Let's go.
Baby, he doesn't miss.
He doesn't miss.
I'm going to start missing, though, because we're getting out of the shorts territory. Editing
Episode 5. We had to avoid saying the same thing. What farm animal did we both say?
Cow?
It was cow. Yes. He doesn't miss.
I don't miss.
Okay.
I remember these.
Okay. We're getting on to the good ones.
All right.
Going on to the good ones now.
Yeah.
All right. Guess that song. Episode 6. We brought in Chad Slade, my father.
Yeah. That was a good episode.
He ended up winning that game, if you don't remember.
Yeah.
Now, you were awarded 2 points during that game. I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself. What were the 3 songs you did not get?
I didn't get. One of them was Thriller.
One of them was Thriller. Good job.
So I remember there was that opening. Yeah. I think I got the Queen one, I remember.
Yes,
and then I also got
Life on the Plains.
The Young Country one, yeah.
Yes, there was 2 others.
Stairway to Heaven was
Stairway to Heaven. There you go.
Okay. Oh no, the last one I don't Oh no.
It was a joke one. It was more of a joke one. More connected
more of a joke
to me.
Oh no, I remember. It was the Philip song. It was
yes, but
Raging Fire.
Raging Fire. Yes. Good
yes,
job.
Sir.
Good job.
Gave me a little hint, but you know.
That's fine. That's okay.
Get there.
All right. We go on to episode 7. We had our third guest, Prime Stat. We did the Prime Stats.
Prime Stat.
Prime Strat came on, but we did the Prime Stats game. You asked me and Prime how many Amazon members are there approximately. What was the guess that I made that awarded me the point?
That was awful.
That was awful. It was an awful guess. But
not as bad as Prime's.
But what was my guess?
I feel like it was like 27,000 or something.
No, it was in the millions. We'll say that.
Oh, it was?
Because Prime guessed like 2 million, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go higher.
Was it like 27 million?
It was not. This is your first L. It's okay. It's okay. It was 8 million. I went really
8
low.
million,
I went really low.
You really did. It was so bad. Do you have the answer written down on what it was, or?
For what?
For how many members there were?
No, I don't have. No, I just have the answers for all the.
Yeah.
I think it was like you said something that was like 200 or something.
It was like 200 million or something like that.
And I mean, he said 2 and I said 8 or something.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous amount of difference though.
It was
but
funny. Yeah. But it got me the point because I was the closest.
Yeah, I guess he does miss. I guess I do miss.
Yeah, it's okay. That's okay. Hey, you're what was it? 6 for 7 here, so you're fine. Yeah. 2 left. Okay, during episode 8, we did the zombie survival game.
Yeah.
During the last round of the zombie survival game, you had to choose. You had to choose who you wanted to survive with. You chose Paul Rudd.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then you proceeded to say who your second pick would be. Who is that?
Wasn't it you?
It was me. Yes.
Yeah. That was out of pity, so that way you'd live in.
It was pity. Okay. Well, this one should be easy because you set up this game. Some of the other ones should be easy too, but this one should be easy because you probably did a lot of research with this one.
Yeah. What episode was this one?
This is episode 9 now.
Okay. So last episode.
The Star Wars trivia. This is the last episode.
Oh no. I don't
know
quotes.
Throughout the no, I'm not giving you a quote. It's fine.
Okay.
This is an easy one actually.
Yeah.
But throughout the duration of the Star Wars trivia game, okay, you gave us quotes from a lot of different movies. Me and Bang. But what was the one movie from the original 6 George Lucas movies that did not appear?
Because I know I didn't do Rise of Skywalker. I want to say it was Return of the Jedi.
It was Return of the Jedi. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. There you go.
All right. There's our game for today. There you go.
All right.
Natty watches the episodes.
Yeah. I listen to them at least once, and then I'm like, all right, get that out of here. Make room for other useless knowledge. No, all right. I think I did pretty solid there. 8 out of 9.
The Prime Strat one is the hardest question, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's that and the first one. Because it's such a small part of the conversation where I go radio terminator, flare gun, and oranges, and then we start talking about like bringing a Breaking Bad van and stuff. Which, by the way, is funny how often the Breaking Bad van comes up in this podcast.
Oh yeah, it's come up multiple times.
Come up a couple times now. Yeah, like this is gonna get added in there. So
yeah.
All right, so let's move on. So Minecraft just dropped its 1.21 update. The tricky trials. They added plenty of new things, plenty of new blocks, a couple new mobs.
We added the for mobs. It had the bogged, which was like a poisonous skeleton, and then
if you hated skeletons, you're gonna hate them now.
Yeah. Now they poison you.
Yeah. If you thought strays were bad, get ready. Strap in because they're not fun. But no, so let me ask you this, Natty. What is your initial reaction on this update?
So, there's good stuff. I like the all the new copper blocks are pretty solid all around. And I like the new tough blocks. Those are probably my favorite thing with the update.
Yep.
Is the tough, because it's just cool. I'd like to see. Oh, we'll get to what I'd like to see in the future, I guess. But yeah, and the copper doors, all that sort of stuff. I just really like the building stuff.
Absolutely. No, I think they added a lot of good like decorative blocks too. I like how ancient everything looks.
Yeah.
I think if I can give one complaint to the ancient cities, like it's almost like too dark down there. Like I can't appreciate everything. Where I think they really nailed the vibe of the trial chambers specifically.
Yeah, it definitely feels like an older feeling place that you're kind of exploring and uncovering.
And it feels like an
Which is
adventure
really
map
cool.
too, which is something I was not expecting. I was like, that's kind of something I've been hoping Minecraft would do for a while now, like add stuff that feels more like modded but like adventure mappy. That like I was going in when I played them, I played them alone, and I was like, I don't want to like. There's some areas you have to build around to get up to places, but I was like, I don't want to. Like, I want to try and explore through it and find the natural way up here, because it's a nice looking area, but that's just how it feels. Like I'm supposed to go through it and not just destroy the whole thing. So
it was really good design. I played it earlier with another person. I played with Irish.
Mm-hmm.
We went through it, and it was just it definitely felt different, and I didn't think it would be possible in Minecraft to add something quite like that without taking away people's ability to do mining stuff and that sort of thing.
I was surprised. I was really surprised.
But when I'm in there, like there's sometimes you'd place blocks to like get up to places and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But like it wasn't really. It didn't feel like any sort of thing that you were going against what it wanted you to do.
Yeah,
and you would just kind of follow it, and it would kind of just play really nice and well.
Absolutely. I think it might
really
be
cool.
It might be one of the cooler. I think. Sorry, I'm just gonna say. I think it's the coolest structure to find underground.
I agree. Yeah. After playing through it, for sure.
I played through two of them, and I was like, this is super cool, and I like how you can redo them, and like multiple people can do the same one, and it's kind of built in a way that's like, okay, well, if you just do it correctly, if you're playing on like a multiplayer server, just like don't break the spawners, and other people could come through and experience the same thing. Which always isn't going to happen. Eventually, people are just gonna start breaking them, but
it's cool because it stops, and there's not a way to like you don't light it up to stop it or anything like the.
No,
the
it's super cool. It's a super different way of adding it, and I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of ways to utilize those spawners for adventure maps and all the different types of maps, like all the creator stuff. And that's what I know a lot of people were looking at. They were like, "Oh, this can be sick for certain maps and stuff like that," and like you can have it drop loot and. I like how like they added the keys and stuff. When I went in, I didn't because whenever an update comes out, I try not to even watch like videos for it. I just hear about stuff. Like I don't try and figure out how to do everything until I'm sitting there actually trying to do it. So I got down into the thing, and I just thought like, oh, you kill the mobs and it'll drop loot, right? I thought that's as far as. And then it was like, oh, but if you have the bad omen effect, you get better loot. So I had the bad omen
effect.
Do
you do an ominous one?
Yes,
like
I did.
That
yes, I did. Omen? I did.
All right, me too.
And it was a ton of fun. And I was like, okay, so I'm going through, and all of a sudden the key drops, and I was like, what does this do? I was like, all right, now I gotta Google it because I was like, what does this thing do? And then I figured, then I did the ominous trial and got the ominous keys and started doing that. And I'm yet to get a heavy core on my solo world, but looking forward to it.
Excited to do the Mace. We played around with it a bit on a practice server for MCBC.
MCBC server. Roster members, it is coming back. Probably be back by the time this comes out, to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
Or at least
play the Mace. Yeah. But dude, that thing's overpowered so much. But also a lot of fun.
And I think it's interesting because it both changes, like it fixes and also completely destroys PvP. Because a lot of people have been complaining, especially with survival PvP, like at a certain point you just become so powerful that like there's just anything can kill you with. So they're like, let's just add a really overpowered weapon.
Yeah.
Like,
because why not?
Because why not?
I haven't gotten it, and you haven't gotten it either from the trial chambers. But I could feel it being very satisfying because it is rare and it is quite a challenge to get. where it is worth it. It's not quite as easy as other things to get.
You know what my biggest thing, after I did my first trial chamber, my biggest thing was walking out of there. I was comparing it a lot to the Ancient City the whole time I was playing through it. I was like, it's funny because when if I see one of these now, if I'm just digging around in a random new world, I'm actually more likely to go try and complete it.
Yeah.
And do it right then, where I will actively avoid Ancient Cities. Because the warden is so stupid.
Yeah. And you don't really get much loot that's worth it.
No.
From
considering how powerful
cities.
the warden is, it's really not that worth it.
I mean, what do you get? You get music disc, and you get maybe the compass that helps you find your loot back to where you died, which is useful, but and compared to what you get from the trial chamber,
if you get anonymous keys, you get like when I did it, I did 2 anonymous keys, and I think I got like 2 enchanted golden apples.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? Are you serious?
That's good.
I was like, dude, if I'm doing a UHC or anything like that, keep an eye out for them.
Yeah, the trial chambers might be the strat.
Might be
and it wasn't
be pro strat.
Overly, it was challenging. But it wasn't crazy. It's not like
fun.
the warden.
It was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun. That was the biggest thing, and I was like, this is a really good change to the game. So, I will 100% say it to anyone who maybe isn't interested in Minecraft anymore, or hasn't checked out the new update. Go try the trial chambers. Go load up a new world and just go try and find one. And just do it because it's a ton of fun.
And
they're a bit of an experience
that really makes you feel kind of like.
Yeah.
I mean, when you first play Minecraft, you always have that kind of awe of like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
And you get that sort of thing when you're playing in the trial chambers. And I'm sure it'll probably fade somewhat over time.
100%.
It's a new thing. But it's cool how it is. And I appreciate Mojang trying things like this because it is really cool.
So before we move on to what we want to get added, because that's going to be a long conversation, I can imagine. But I want to just quickly go over the 2 mobs. So we talked about the skeleton that shoots poison arrows. That's really not the big deal. The one that is a big deal is the breeze, which is like a wind mace, okay, or a wind like a wind blaze. Sorry.
Yeah.
You get the blaze rods or the breeze rods. You can make the mace with it. So that's why I said that. So one of my so obviously like the wind charges, they're really sick. The breeze balls, they're really cool. That's not my coolest thing about these things. I forgot I remember hearing about this, but when I went to go fight them, this scared the hell out of me. I was in there, I was fighting one, and he was just like boosting around. And I dropped it, and he was like up high, like shooting wind charges at me. And I was like, dude, get off of there. And I fired a bow at him, and the arrow deflected. It scared the hell out of me. I was like, oh no.
He was like, don't try that.
I was like, oh, right. I was like, I forgot. It was insane. It was like an oh shit moment.
I feel like that's what it'd be like if you were going against like you're trying to fight a Jedi. It was just like a blaster in Star Wars, and you just stop it, and you're like, oh, I'm dead.
I was like, okay, these things are pretty cool. And like the wind charges, they pair really well with the mace, especially with its ability to do more damage the higher you fall. But I just think they're a really cool addition to the game.
Just a lot of fun.
Yeah, and they add a lot of like cool dynamics with the wind charges and how you can use them. And I don't think they're that broken either. I wish you could make in the future, real quick, but because we're going there, I wish you could make an upgraded version of the wind charge, and it would do more boost because maybe you could maybe make it so it doesn't have to hit something for it to go off, because then theoretically they could replace fireworks and like you could almost just like, then you'll be able to just infinitely do them now. So maybe that's not a good idea. But you know what I'm thinking?
Like, we're not Mojang, all right?
I'm just shooting ideas here. But no, we can move on. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I really enjoy the fact that whenever they add in the more unique, interesting kind of mobs to the game, I think it's really cool. Like the breeze, even because it's not. It goes more into the fantasy side of things than when they just add in real life stuff, like, the camel's cool and whatnot, but when you compare it to like this, or even the sniffer that doesn't do much, it's still a cool mob.
They're vanity mobs, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like the breeze is the first one in a long time that is like it actually adds something that like doesn't change a lot, but it adds something like really unique. Like the camel's
a
cool.
Unique way of fighting it, yeah.
Like the camel's cool, but like you could have also just added like a very like you could have just added a different horse armor that makes it so he jumps differently. You know what I mean?
And like have 2 seats, or something.
Like you add a side cart, which.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That'd be cool, actually.
Mojang,
hire me. No,
don't
hire him.
But.
Anyway, no, I think and like the sniffer, yes, it's added tons of new like decorative flowers, and the cherry bombs are really cool. But when it comes to the overall stuff, it's like the sniffer doesn't really add anything that like really changes the overall game, other than looks, which it does look great. And I'm glad they're still doing that because Minecraft deserves to add more.
Like using the new woods and stuff. It's just it's a cool thing.
So, sorry, we can move on if you have something to add.
Yeah, the trial chambers really turned my perspective on where 1.21 is, and like before I went and did the chamber, and I compared it to like the previous updates, like 1.20, 1.19, 1.18 sort of thing. It was like it felt kind of somewhat lackluster.
It looked like it was lackluster, but no,
it's like you got the copper and you got the tough, and then like a new mob. And the crafter is great, which we didn't really talk about.
No, I mean,
it's cool.
It's a new. We haven't really experienced it yet, so
maybe
it's gonna take a bit to figure out. It's gonna take a bit to figure out.
Yeah, it's cool to where it is, but the trial really just changes my way around. I think it is the coolest structure they've added
in a while.
I can't think of a better structure really.
Yeah,
that's more entertaining than that.
Yeah,
I think it is the best.
I think it might be the best, to be honest with you, because it just doesn't feel like a lot of the other structures. It feels like it's an active like boss battle thing.
Yeah, the only thing I think that would be kind of somewhat comparable in the exploration kind of standpoint to a limited extent is like the end cities. Or
just the end, like the actual end boss fight. Like that's about it, though. And even that, like again, we're like that's gonna be a perfect transition, by the way, Natty.
I knew it.
That's the thing where I was going. First thing I want them to add, end update. I think it's about time we get biomes in the end. I think it's about time we get a civilization, some sort of village or piglin type creature in the end. And I think it's time we get an ore in the end too.
I'm not opposed to an end update, but I understand why Mojang hasn't fully done one.
Well, it's because they're focusing on other stuff. 100%.
I mean, there's that, but also like a lot of people don't go to the end.
Well, it's because it's bland, though. That's why.
Yeah, Nobody but even then, like fighting the dragon for any sort of elytra or any sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm. But like, put it this way: like the Nether, like before the Nether update, right? You got to think about it this way: before the Nether update, you would go to the end and then the Nether, get blaze rods and blaze powder and the stuff you need for what's it called, like potions, and then never go back. Like, because it's a fiery wasteland, and you're gonna die to gas and pigmen, and everything else that's in there sucks. And it's like, don't get me wrong, it's still all those things nowadays. The only difference is, if your portal broke, you could live there. You're gonna be in the greatest conditions. No, but you could live there theoretically. So I think
there are possible ways out.
Yeah, and I think, and not to hate on the dragon or anything, like comparing it especially to some of the newest, because the dragon is it's the boss of all bosses, right?
Yeah.
Not even to say it's the strongest, it's not.
That'd be the Wither.
That'd be the Wither.
Bedrock Wither.
Bedrock Wither is insane, and the Warden gives it a huge run for his money as well.
Yeah.
But I would say the for cinematic purposes, the Ender Dragon is the most.
Yeah, it feels the most like a boss fight.
Yeah. So I would even like an update to the boss fight a little bit, like bring it more up to speed, right? add some more stuff to it. Make it so it's not just the pillars and the Ender Dragon swooping around. Give it some other abilities, right? Like give it some other stuff that you can use. Maybe add some sort of like guards to the end as well, and like mobs that will only spawn when the dragon is still alive, and they'll just try and kill you. I don't know, like just little things like that, right? Like make it feel a little bit more alive in there, and it's a bit more of like a task to defeat it, because I'd be okay with that. Or if you're not going to change anything like that because they don't want to mess with the game, and it's been like that for a long time now, so I get not wanting to change the end boss fight. Then you got to go to the cities, and I think the end cities themselves can stay, but adding more structures like that and more loot to find and some sort of tree variant, or I was thinking like a mushroom variant of some kind. Similar to what they did in the Nether, but in the end.
Yeah.
And then some sort of like piglin type creature that just is native to the end and like lives there, right?
Yeah.
And they hang around. Like I was even
like
saying
a trading one, yeah.
Yeah, like an end village would be cool. That would be sick. You don't have to do villagers, but like some sort of mob like that, right? That like they just have civilizations out there, because it is such a unique area. But the problem with it right now is there's nothing out there, right?
Yeah.
And they just need more colorful. I always point to when I talk about end updates, what Goggled Gecko did. He was a Minecraft. Yeah. It was a Minecraft add-on he made.
Yeah. We know you watching, and he's not watching.
He's not watching. But if you've ever seen his, I'll put like a trailer or something. If it's still up, I'll put it down in the description. Something like that. You probably have
it on the screen right now.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. The way he made that look is a great concept to start on, a good jumping point.
Yeah.
And adding more structures and stuff like that, like kind of like the trial chambers or just stuff like that in the end is the way to go. Just basically do what you did with the Bastion and all the end stuff, like Nether stuff. Recolor it, change it a little bit.
Maybe add some of the trial kind of features that you kind of have with that, and
throw it into the end, and it'll just make everything seem more alive, right? And it'll make people want to go to the end more, because there's gonna be more to look for. So nobody goes to the end right now because there's really nothing to get. Like you kill the dragon, you get Elytra, you get some shulker boxes, and you never go back.
Yeah,
because it's like you gotta remember, it hasn't changed since then.
Yeah, since 1.9.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely think it'd be cool. They should like continue with what they kind of did with the trial chambers, and not necessarily make a clone of it, but get that adventure sort of thing going.
Yeah,
because I think they have a good idea of what
some
works
sort of
for
like
that.
End temple, right? That takes a similar style as the trial chambers, and they could even say that like it's kind of like a step up from that. Like, oh, if you do the trial chambers, this is like the level 2. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like a temple you got to go into, and it's got tons of loot in there too. That would be sick. Yeah. I was even saying to Slater, me and him were talking about this the other day, and I was saying it would be cool if they added some sort of use for the dragon egg, and like maybe you can find them in other structures, right? Like we can get more of them. That way there's not just one, and maybe it spawns some sort of like baby dragon, and you can tame it, and it's like a pet, right? You can't ride it or anything. That's not what I'm saying. It's like a little pet, like a wolf that can fly around and will attack shit for you. That'd be sick. It's a little modded, yes. But to be fair, we didn't ever think we were going to get camels 2 years ago. So, everything seems modded now.
You don't think you get wolf variants? We got those.
Yeah, here we are, right? So who cares if they do it in a good way? Like I think pretty much anything's possible. So I think like the end update is probably the biggest thing now. You've done the caves, the Nether's done, oceans look great. Overworld's pretty full now. I actually don't know what they could add in terms of new biomes to the overworld.
Something that I thought of, well, actually, someone else thought of it. I don't remember where I saw it. But like a deep sea update could be kind of cool. Because you have like the oceans are all right, and you have like the nice coral and stuff. But they haven't really been updated in like 6 years, I think, or 7 years at this point. But like now that we have like the lower depths, if you kind of know what Subnautica is, right?
Ooh,
kind of get some of that kind of vibe going. I think that'd be really sick.
Cool. They should add sharks. They should add sharks.
Yeah, or maybe add like that giant squid mob from the first mob vote. that didn't get put in. Like have a boss or something that you fight under the water.
Because the Guardian
like a Kraken.
sucks. The Guardian sucks. Let's be real.
Yeah.
A Kraken would be sick. Kraken would be so cool.
Or just something that like lower down.
Megalodon. Megalodon. Let it cook.
Yeah.
They won't add sharks because they don't want people to stab sharks. But you can add, it's like low key a fantasy shark. So.
But I think it'd be cool. More bosses would be genuinely, I think a cool thing.
Yeah.
Just more challenges.
100%.
I would say so. What other things do you like to see in like future updates or themes besides the end update?
That's a good question. I mean, I'm really just passionate about the end update, to be honest with you.
Passionate about the end? I think it'd be cool to do maybe a farming update.
Farming would be cool. Adding some sort of like tractors and stuff like that.
Yeah, or maybe not tractors.
Not like an actual tractor, but like something you can like hook on and like carry it maybe. And it's like a little like boat style thing, and you just like go over stuff.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you had like a plow that you'd attach to like a horse or a mule or a donkey or whatever.
That's what I meant.
And you can
that's what I meant.
Drag that
on.
I just
said tractor.
Tractor is not what that is, but I get your point.
Yeah, I meant plow, but I said tractor.
That'd be cool, and maybe it might be OP or not, but maybe it'd be like it'd replan it as it like goes and collects it or something, and it puts it in the storage.
I mean,
if it is.
Listen, they added the crafter, so add an auto planter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It'd be cool, especially because you would have to ride your horse or whatever mob through the field at some point. So you're still doing it, but it's just another use for that mob and another cool
they should also add
farming.
They should add it so and this is just like a really weird thing that I think like maybe this is too modded now that I'm thinking about it. But like adding something that makes it so like you change the way farming works when you're underground. And you have to do it in a certain, like you have to use a certain block or something to light it up. That way it's like, because you can't just like, I always bother me. It's like, you just place a torch down and it's like, oh yeah, that's enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, but it needs a light source. And it's like something like that, like you have like glowstone or something like you have to use something like that. That would give, like it has to give out some sort of like, special light.
I could see that.
Don't know.
Or maybe a light that would make it grow faster. I don't know.
That's a cool idea too. Hydroponics.
You don't really want it to. Yeah, you don't really want it to interfere with other growing things like the bees or whatever that make it go quicker, bone meal. But I don't know. It'd be cool. I think just more options to play isn't a bad thing, even if it kind of overlaps somewhat. If you have options to do stuff, you can do things in different ways.
Mojang, can we make it so mobs don't break crops when they step on them? Like players I get, but like when you have a farm set up and a chicken walks through and just starts to jump in the middle of it.
Yeah. Like, or make it so they don't jump unless they have to, or like I don't know.
Yeah, it just won't break.
That'd just be better mob.
Also, can we make it so villagers don't do it too? Because it's annoying. It really bugs me. Yeah. I have to go through and rehoe all this fucking land. And
Or maybe make it so, like, if there's a crop on it, you have to, like... Or maybe just make it so jumping doesn't get rid of it. Like, why? I don't know. Maybe,
for players,
gets rid of the plant.
For players, I get. No, for players, I understand it. But for mobs, I think it shouldn't be a thing. Yeah, that's just a quality of life thing. Because, like, mobs, it's like you can't, like... You know what I mean? If you have like a pet or something, or like I have a bunch of on my solo world, I have a bunch of villagers, right? And I built a farm for them, and I built it on a hill, and it's like the So like they just run around and destroy it the whole day. I'm just like
and you have to go and fix it.
Yeah, or
that's fair. Yeah, because you also don't want to just have like a really flat, boring. Thing. I get it. So. Yeah. I would say so. I think another farming thing would be cool would be kind of like maybe trees. Like if you could make orchards, be a way of getting apples a bit better or other kind of trees like that would grow things. Get oranges.
Making it so apples actually grow on the trees.
Yeah. So right now it's pretty frustrating if you're trying to get apples.
Yeah.
But yeah, I imagine like having a full orchard would be sick. I don't know. It'd be cool.
So, 100%, 100%. So, you got anything else you want to see them add?
Any other updates? I mean, more mobs.
That's kind of a general thing, though. They're gonna do that anyway, right?
I think also more biomes with more kind of trees and whatnot.
Would you ever like them to see them add more biomes to the Nether? Because I think the overworld's pretty good now. Like, I think it's in a good spot.
I still think the overworld can use a bit more.
Like what
all
though?
the time.
What specifically?
I mean, there's just a lot of interesting places when you look even just at the world as it is, like in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at Minecraft, and you can do better, like more interesting sort of terrains. Like you could have redwoods. I know we have the mangroves, but that's an example of something that we could do.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
But and there's other sort of.
I think they've hit a lot of the big ones pretty well.
Yeah, and be cool. Maybe just more stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
You need to figure out the inventory. I think that's an update.
The inventory, and then I think they need to unify the combat. That's the big one for me.
Yeah. Parity is definitely important.
Java and Bedrock need to come together and pick which combat they're gonna follow here.
Or come up with something completely different.
Or you gotta come up with something new.
Yeah. Maybe
I would love it if they just went to the 1.9. I'm like the one person on this planet who loves that combat.
Yeah, I like the newer combat.
Because, when I have to do this, I'm butterfly clicking in the air right now.
Yeah.
Just to kill anything is kind of annoying.
Yeah, it doesn't have as much skill.
No.
For sure.
I mean, no, there is skill behind it because you're just aiming, like it's point and click, right? And like you have to have pinpoint accuracy. But I think it's more of like especially when it's between players, it's more of a duel than it's like, think of it like a lightsaber duel, right?
Yeah.
It's more of an actual like battle of who, like, you know what I mean? I'm not explaining this right, but like it's more of like it's a duel than of just like a.
Yeah.
I just banged my fucking desk a bunch of times.
I get your point though.
Yeah.
I think definitely combat. I like the new weapon they had, the Mace.
Yeah.
Adding new stuff like that is a cool idea.
I know they have it with capes, but why don't they have it so you can color and design your own Elytra wings?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Or like if you were able to use the
loom.
No, I wouldn't say the loom. I was thinking the armor trim. If you're able to use those and get like styles on it, I think that would be kind of
cool. That's a good idea too. Yeah.
Maybe you could dye it like your wings, like in like.
Yeah.
In the case of, right now it's different on Java and Bedrock how you do it, but I think dyeable wings would be cool.
100%. So.
And then I agree.
I think that's
so.
Everything.
Yeah, 1.21. What would you rate it out of 10?
I'd give it a solid 8.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a 8 too.
I usually don't do I try not to do points, but like an 8.5, close to 9. Like it's a really close 9. Like
it's a pretty solid update.
Like that's not even me overhyping. Like I think it's just like it's not. There's nothing like it doesn't really change a lot about the base game, but it just it's a nice add, right? It's just it's just something that's like, hey, that's cool. Like it's really cool. There's not a lot that like in this update that I was like, oh, why'd they do that? Like why'd they add
there was nothing that was
why'd they add that? Like, oh, that seems useless. Which I said that a lot. I said a lot about the updates. So
some of the updates, it comes out and you're like, really?
I'm like, why? So they added a giant creature that walks around and sniffs things. What does it do? Oh, that
sniffs things.
Oh, that's it. I'm like,
what do they call it? The sniffer.
Huh?
Yeah.
What are we doing here, guys? What are we doing?
Well, that's the mob votes for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be another thing. Mob vote. Bring some of those things. There's good ideas in there.
Yeah.
For different things.
Yeah.
That they haven't done.
100%.
So take some ideas from there. Keep Mojang. No, you're not watching.
Keep doing what you're doing.
But yeah, keep what you're doing. Yeah, sometimes the Minecraft community can sometimes be toxic and be like, oh,
not us.
Mojang sucks, but yeah. Though, just stop breaking MCBC every update. Thank you.
Yeah, that's annoying, dude. Like I keep hearing Slater nagging on about it.
Yeah, that's the most annoying part. It's not even the fact that it doesn't work. It's just Slater keeps yapping about it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I don't feel bad about forgetting you this time.
Yeah. You know what?
We are not sorry that we forgot you.
Yeah. Okay, a little sorry.
This is on purpose now.
Yeah. You put you on the schedule and you didn't show up. Yeah. I mean, we figured you would. It's a Minecraft one.
Yeah.
He hasn't played the trial though yet, so maybe that's.
We thought this is like a for sure thing. Like he would definitely show up. So.
He just wasn't prepped.
Although I think in the next, I don't know if it's next episode or the episode after that, we're gonna be talking about MCBC. So.
Yeah. Well, we're not gonna spoil it, but you can look forward to it. Might have a special guest. You'll see. Not Slater though. You're not allowed.
All right, man. So I think that's everything. Everyone, thank you guys for watching this episode.
Thank you so very much.
The
thank you for
ATG Podcast.
Yeah, thank you for 10 episodes.
Yeah,
we made it.
Let's go on to the next 10.
And next year or so, however long. I don't know.
Yeah.
How long do you think we're going? Let's make our bets right now.
I don't know.
I think we've officially established the podcast though, and I feel like we're in a good
agree.
spot.
I'd say this is a ton of fun. This is the most fun I've had when it comes to making YouTube videos of this in a while.
A lot of times you kind of feel like you commit to something, like if you did a podcast, and then it just sort of fades away.
I thought after episode 6 it was gonna phase out.
Yeah, but we're still going, and I
was like, glad we didn't. After 6 we really peaked, and I was like, oh no, it's over now.
Yeah. But I'm glad we didn't overextend ourselves.
No, yeah.
We didn't go like weekly. I think bi-weekly works.
Yeah, it's just enough where I have enough time to edit it, and we have enough time that we don't get sick of each other.
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening to this week. See you all in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow if you're on Spotify, and make sure to check out the YouTube version because we got a video which is a ton of fun to watch, and there's tons of stuff on there. But if you're on YouTube, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe and share, and do all that stuff. We'll talk to you guys next 2 weeks. Peace out.
Bye.